Emma had always believed her marriage was strong. Not perfect, but strong enough to survive the small changes that came with time. After 6 years of marriage, she and Daniel had settled into a peaceful routine. Their life wasn't dramatic or exciting anymore, but it felt safe, comfortable. Every December, Emma decorated their home carefully. Christmas lights hung around the windows, the trees sparkled in the living room, and the smell of cinnamon candles filled the house. That year seemed no different, until Daniel made a strange request one evening. Emma was in the kitchen preparing dinner when Daniel walked in, looking unusually thoughtful. "Emma," he said, leaning against the counter. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course." He hesitated. "Do you remember Lisa?" Emma immediately recognized the name. Lisa was Daniel's ex-girlfriend. They had dated for years before Emma met him. Emma had never actually met her, but Daniel had mentioned her many times in old stories. "She moved back to town recently," Daniel continued. "And she doesn't really have anyone here." Emma stirred the soup quietly. "And..." Daniel cleared his throat. "I thought maybe she could spend Christmas with us." Emma froze. "Here. Just for a few days," he said quickly. "She's having a tough time. Lost her job, broke up with her boyfriend. I just thought it would be nice to help." Emma felt something uncomfortable stir inside her, but she pushed it away. "Sure," she said finally. "It's Christmas." Daniel smiled with relief. "Thank you." Emma smiled too. But deep down, she already felt something shifting. Lisa arrived 3 days before Christmas. When Emma opened the door, she immediately understood why Daniel once loved her. Lisa was stunning, tall, confident, with dark hair and bright eyes that seemed to glow even in the winter cold. "Hi," Lisa said warmly. "You must be Emma." Emma nodded. "And you must be Lisa." Daniel appeared behind her, smiling widely. "Lisa." He hugged her tightly. Emma noticed how natural it seemed. How familiar. Lisa laughed. "It's been years." Emma stepped aside politely. "Come in." The first evening seemed harmless. They talked over dinner, sharing stories from Daniel's college days. Lisa was funny and charming, and she easily filled the room with laughter. But Emma noticed something. Daniel looked happier than usual. Over the next few days, Emma started noticing small things, little moments that made her uncomfortable. Daniel and Lisa shared private jokes. They sometimes whispered to each other and laughed quietly. And every night after dinner, Lisa suggested a walk. Daniel always joined her. One evening, Emma joked, "You hate the cold, Daniel." He shrugged. "Fresh air is good." They would disappear for nearly an hour. When they returned, their cheeks were red from the cold, but their eyes sparkled with energy. Emma tried not to think about it. But something didn't feel right. On Christmas Eve, Emma was cooking dinner when Daniel's phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Normally, she wouldn't look. But the screen lit up. A message from Lisa. Emma frowned. Lisa was in the living room. Why would she text him? Curiosity got the better of her. She glanced at the screen. 3 sentences appeared. "Last night meant everything to me. I wish we didn't have to hide it. I still love you." Emma's heart dropped. Her hands started shaking. She quickly placed the phone back where it was. Her mind raced with terrifying possibilities. Maybe she misunderstood. Maybe it was old. Maybe. But deep down, she knew. Something was terribly wrong. And Christmas was only the beginning. Emma barely slept that night. Her mind replayed the message over and over. Last night meant everything to me. What did it mean? Were they secretly meeting? Were those nightly walks just an excuse? The next morning, Emma watched them more carefully. She noticed how often their eyes met across the room, how Daniel laughed at everything Lisa said, how the conversation stopped whenever Emma entered. One afternoon, Emma walked into the living room unexpectedly. Daniel and Lisa were sitting close together on the couch. Too close. They immediately moved apart. Emma pretended not to notice, but the knot in her stomach tightened. Emma decided she needed proof. She hated the idea of spying on her husband, but the message haunted her. That evening, after everyone went to bed, Emma quietly checked Daniel's phone. Her hands trembled as she opened the messages. There were dozens, most of them recent. Flirtatious messages. Secret plans. One message made her stomach twist. I can't believe we're finally together again. Another read. Emma has no idea. Tears filled Emma's eyes. Her husband was cheating, and the woman he was cheating with was sleeping in their guest room. Instead of confronting them immediately, Emma did something unexpected. She stayed silent. For the next few days, she observed everything. She took screenshots of messages. She noticed how Daniel slipped away to meet Lisa when Emma was busy. She even followed them one evening. They walked to a small park nearby. Emma watched from a distance. Daniel pulled Lisa into a kiss. Emma's heart shattered. But strangely, she didn't cry. Instead, she felt calm, focused. If they thought they could betray her in her own home, they were about to learn how wrong they were. New Year's Eve approached. Emma decided to host a party. Friends and neighbors gathered in the house, laughing and celebrating. Lisa acted perfectly normal. Daniel smiled like everything was fine. But Emma had been preparing. She had saved every message, every photo, every piece of proof. At 11:59 p.m., everyone gathered in the living room for the countdown. 10 and 9, 8. Emma stepped forward. Before midnight, she said calmly, I'd like to share something. The room grew quiet. Daniel looked confused. Emma connected her phone to the television. The screen lit up. Messages appeared. Lisa, last night meant everything. Daniel, Emma will never find out. Gasps filled the room. Lisa's face turned pale. Daniel froze. Emma looked at them both. You didn't think I knew? She asked quietly. The room erupted with shocked whispers. Daniel tried to speak. Emma, don't, she said. Her voice was calm, but powerful. This marriage ended the moment you decided to cheat in my own home. After the party, Daniel begged for forgiveness, but Emma had already made her decision. Within weeks, she filed for divorce. Lisa disappeared from Daniel's life shortly afterward. Ironically, once the excitement of secrecy was gone, their relationship collapsed. Emma, however, discovered something unexpected. Freedom. For the first time in years, she focused on herself. New hobbies, new friends, a new life. Months later, Emma walked past the same park where she once watched Daniel betray her. But this time, she felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. Just peace. Because sometimes the greatest revenge isn't destroying someone else. It's choosing yourself and walking away stronger.